Juddy. How are you, mate? Thanks for joining us.
Pluta, how are you, mate? Good to see you.
Good. Well, we've been enjoying working with you. You're a supporter of the business through Talk Your Book, which has been fantastic, and Chris Judd Invest. It's really important for us, obviously, given our commitment to the finance world and the trading world, providing insurance solutions to that part of that industry. To be a part of that. Firstly and foremost, mate, how's the portfolio going?
Well, it's been good. It was a pretty rough, bumpy month in March and early April, but the central banks around the world started spraying money, and so it's been a good run. It's going to be interesting to see how things play out from here. Obviously the US elections from a macro viewpoint look like the next really big event to watch out for, but certainly the central bank stimulus up until this point has been huge, and I guess we all hold our breath on more the real world economy and how that's going to transpire over the next 12 to 24 months, because clearly it's been a huge disruption, and in the real world economy as opposed to asset prices, it looks like it's going to be a pretty tough couple of years ahead.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I think that's a big one, the US election. I think we're all waiting for the result on that. How are you holding up anyway? You're a father of 4 young ones. We all know it's been tricky times. How are you actually going?
Look, we're good. It's apart from the obvious of having lost our freedom and kids missing their friends, not being able to go at school, but as a whole, we're well. Everyone's healthy and still married and still living under one roof. So so far so good. But certainly pleased with the numbers starting to come down and hopeful we get a bit of freedom back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it really is good. A little bit of positivity and a bit of nice weather around can really change the mindset. Talk to us a little bit, mate. I'm really interested in regards to the way you've built your profile, but also your career and your business more so in the investment world and the trading world. Can you give us just a bit of an insight, with regards to moving from professional sport and then building a career and a business outside of that?
Yeah, so I finished footy about 5 years ago now, and didn't have a clear picture of what I wanted to do. I thought I'd end up being an entrepreneur because the people I admired most in business, that's what they'd done. But footy ended really abruptly and a little bit earlier than what I'd planned. So initially, I took a job at a venture capital firm as an analyst looking at prospective investments for them, and it was a good experience. I did that for about 18 months, and I think just gradually evolved my thinking and essentially got clarity around what I was good at and suited to and what I was most interested in. And really that aligned with being an investor. I'm really interested in concepts. I don't have a huge desire to manage large numbers of people. I'm really comfortable taking an opposing view to the masses, if you like. And I guess as an investor, that's what you have to do. You have to basically say that the price of something is wrong and that you're prepared to take an opposing view of what the market prices currently are. And you're of the belief that people will agree with you later on, as Jim Grant likes to say. So I did a personality test about 2 or 3 years after footy, and that really illuminated some of these things, some of these character traits around having a disagreeable disposition, also pretty low in empathy and compassion, which was interesting, Fluta. Things my wife confirmed, but essentially things that are good for being an investor. The last thing you want to be when you're an investor is highly agreeable and just agree and believe everything that a CEO or the market's telling you. So there's some character traits in there, and exploring that basically came to the realization that was suited to being an investor, and have loved doing that full time for the last 3 years. And obviously, like you alluded to, have created some finance media recently, which you guys have been a part of, and to branch out and interview some of the best investors in Australia and people that I really admire and have been able to learn off has been a great experience as well.
We talk a bit, you and I, about good habits, creating good habits. In respect that we're both running businesses. We've both got considerable responsibilities, and busy lifestyles. How do you get that bridge? I mean, was there certainly, I guess something that came from the disciplines of the professional football world that you've been able to apply to, life in general?
Yeah, I think, anyone with young kids, that's working, and particularly when both partners are working, you quickly realise just how much little time's available for doing the things you want to do. So that idea around habit stacking and, things you're going to have to do every day, be that get up out of bed or have a shower or have lunch, or if you align some things that you want to get done each day with other things that are definitely going to happen each day, I find that's a really effective way to create and stick to good habits. I mean, I know every day I'm going to get out of bed. So, to get out of bed early, 6 o'clock, make that a time to exercise. There's certain windows that I try and open up for company specific reading that's important to do. And I know I'm going to have lunch every day. So to try and keep that period after lunch at 2 o'clock to prioritize reading that needs to get done is something I like to do. But really just to open up, I guess, time windows to allocate to things that need to happen and to build them around other events which you're going to do every day has been a really useful tool for me. And I think also that idea of blending skill sets, it's something James Clear talks about a lot. With finance media, my experience in finance is always going to be a lot of other people with much better finance experience, but I generally find that they have limited to no social media experience. So all of a sudden, when you blend finance with social media, you get a product that's unique and of value. And if you continue to blend other things, your product becomes differentiated and more valuable. And essentially, you begin to build a genuine economic moat that you couldn't build if you just had one skill set in there. And I can even see that with AFL players. So AFL players and athletes blend a lot of different skill sets. They're not the quickest when compared to other athletes. Track sprinters are. They're not the strongest, weightlifters are. They blend a lot of different skill sets into that. And I think that's an approach people can use in business. There's going to be some people that are incredibly specialised in what they do. But if you're not, the ability to create value by blending different skill sets, I think is a really important idea.
Mate, you mentioned getting up at 6 a.m. and hitting the workout. You're obviously still in incredible nick. So, that doesn't go unnoticed, mate. But, but what, for us, I guess, community sport and being involved in that at the grassroots level will continue to remain, really, really important for our group. The encouragement of people to get out, to get exercise, men, women, boys, girls, and being able to be part of that, is part of our DNA as a group. How important is the exercise regime, the sound mind, the sound body, but how important is that in terms of, your ability to achieve what you do through the investing, trading, business, the media that you're doing, etc.?
Well, as soon as I met you and Damien, it was clear, particularly Damien's obsession with the old Zavs, but also support you guys have with Mosman Wales and Dunbar Rovers as well. So I was quickly aware how big a part of Honan community sport is and that engagement around people being healthy, but also connected to their community. I'm not sure if it's a business thing, but just more of an importance to everyday life. We can see now we're in the middle of a pandemic, and one of the best ways to overcome it as an individual is to not have any comorbidities, to be as healthy as possible, to be at a healthy weight. And we've seen just how damaging the virus has been for people suffering with morbidities. It's easy for you to say. But yeah, look, being healthy is important. Being connected to that community as well in what's been a really challenging year for everyone, and some particularly in hospitality or tourism industries, just to be connected to a community, have a support network where you can share in the frustration, the disappointment, and I guess have some people around that can help you come up with a plan as to what comes next. There's never been a more important time to be both healthy but connected to the community as well.
Massive. That's a really important message, Juddy, and one that we at Honan have been pushing through various channels. And I say, whether it be community sport, whether it be mental health through Beyond Blue, Are You OK Day, we got right behind. Connecting with the community, connecting with stakeholders, I think incredibly important and powerful message, mate. Juddy, thanks so much for your time. It's been really great to chat with you. Obviously, very accomplished on the footy field, but it's been amazing working with you off it. Love watching what you're doing in the investment community. It's been phenomenal to be part of, and we only want to keep seeing that grow as we move forward. And watching the Talk Your Book episodes and Masters of the Market that are coming out through various channels. It's been intriguing. We get incredible feedback through the investment community. We're a big part of that through insurable risk in that space, and keep it coming, mate. We love it. Thank you so much for your time, and you can go off and do what you got to do now in your busy day. Hopefully stay within 5 kilometres of sunny Brighton.
Thanks, Flutes. Good to chat, mate. Speak soon.
See you, mate.
See you, buddy.